Richard Sherman, 49ers cornerback, is a member of the NFL Players Association Executive Committee. And today is an important day for the NFL and the NFLPA because there is a proposal on the table that the union is taking to its leadership with the possibility that there will be a recommendation for the rank and file to accept a proposal premised on a 17-game regular season. That's the key point in these negotiations. And the union has been negotiating based upon 17 games. The question is, will the NFL give the union enough to agree to 17 games? I mention all that by way of background because there's been some pushback in recent days regarding the possibility of a 17-game season. And we'll let you hear from Richard Sherman speaking to reporters yesterday on the topic of a 17-game regular season. Here's Richard Sherman.
Players have been more aware of player safety and longevity and just life after football. The league, kind of pretends that they're interested in it, pretends that they care about it, makes all these rules, fines all these players, but then still proposes to players to play an extra game. And not just 17, they're really just saying 17 so that they can get to 18. And so that's two more opportunities for players to risk their bodies, to put their bodies on the line. And that's what's so ridiculous about it, and nobody calls them out. Nobody calls out the hypocrisy. And I'm hoping that one day, people will be brave enough to call out the hypocrisy of saying, hey, we really care about player safety, but hey, we also want you to play an extra game, put your body on the line, and risk your career.
Hey, look, I got a ton of respect for Richard Sherman as a player, but when he says things like that, it makes my blood boil.
Well, it makes me too.
We've been talking for years about the disconnect between playing more football and preserving and enhancing player health and safety. Of course, it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's obviously hypocritical.
don't
Don't act like we don't have the courage to talk about it.
I know.
We talk about it. Don't shame us. Here's the problem. I'm getting mad.
Yeah, go ahead. I like it.
Here's
go ahead.
the problem.
Get them.
The union is negotiating based on 17 games.
Right.
That ship has sailed.
Right.
How are we supposed to take up the fight about the hypocrisy of playing 17 games when they're negotiating based on 17 games? If you guys don't want to play 17 games, you tell the NFL, stick it where the sun don't shine. It's 16, and that's it. And if you want to lock us out over it, lock us out over it. Then you'll have us even waving that flag harder of hypocrisy. But how can you say we don't have the courage to call out the hypocrisy when you are negotiating based on 17 games?
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. Well said. I mean, you got it. You good? You feel good? You feel better now?
I feel pretty good.
All right, good. Yeah, that was therapeutic,
tough.
I think. Yeah, you should. You should. I'm here. I got your back. Okay.
I don't need your back.
Okay, fine. I think you do. But either way, I'm with you. First off, it bothered me when I saw those comments too yesterday. I did, because I wanted to be like, man, first off, you just can't make blanket statements like, I wish somebody out there would be courageous and brave enough to stand up about the hip-hop. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I know he probably doesn't like you because you get in Twitter wars with him every now and then.
Yeah, God forbid I should state very real and accurate assessments about the foolishness of players representing themselves against billionaires.
Yeah, well, okay.
Screw me for being...
Let's not go there right now.
All right, but that's why he doesn't like me.
Well, I know. And also within that, I mean, gosh, Mike, I'm dead serious here. I don't know a guy on TV that's more pro player than you are. I mean, you really are. You're all about it. And I know both of us have had this a lot. Like, how can the NFL talk about player safety and want to add more than, add another game to the schedule? I get it. I'm with you, Richard. We've been pounding the table there. But you're right. Don't yell at the camera and talk to the media. Go back to the NFLPA and go, wait, what are we doing here? This is bullcrap. I mean, that's really what it is. He's got to talk to NFLPA representatives on the teams and start to say, what are we doing? What are we negotiating? Because, we are starting to hear players go, oh, I can't do 17 games. We've had a few guys this week say that they don't want to do it. So I don't understand that either. Now, where I will say I agree with them is I do agree with them in the fact that this is a setup. It's really to get to 18 games.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
This is just a little stepping stone.
But then say we're not going to 17. I mean, don't say we don't have the courage to call out the hypocrisy. Hey, Richard, have the courage to stand up to the league and say, we're not playing 17. Forget it. It's 16. And if you don't like it, lock us out. That's the weapon that the league has. But here's the problem. And this is the fundamental flaw in the current labor management relationship between NFL and NFLPA. When push comes to shove, the players are not going to take a work stoppage. They're not going to take a lockout. They're not going to strike. They don't want to give up game checks. They don't want to not play football. And they don't have an alternative to the owners saying, fine, you go on strike, we'll just get replacement players. So it's an uneven playing field, and they have to accept the 17 games. But don't act like we're the problem. We're not the problem.
No.
You're negotiating 17 games.
That's right.
That's the problem.
Yep.
And if you don't want 17 games, then say we're going to tear up the proposals and we're going back to 16 and let's stay at 16. And I'd be fine with that if they do it.
I am too. I'm totally fine with the way it is.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.